Hello, thank you for being in a new video. This time I have with you an unboxing of the new HUAWEI MatePad 11.5s Paper Matte Edition. Let's get started. This is Huawei's newest tablet that is debuting interesting technologies, and above all, it debuts a very attractive drawing application for artists. So let's take out the contents of this box, which, as you may notice, brings two boxes inside. One where the tablet will come and the other where the keyboard accessory will come, which is called Huawei Smart Magnetic Keyboard. So let's first bring out this keyboard so you can get to know it. It's a keyboard that is expected to have a good build quality as well. In this case, it is the black color edition, but there is also a white color edition. Note that at the same time it will be a case that could get to protect your tablet when transporting it. The interesting thing about this keyboard is that it incorporates near-link technology, i.e. EE. It is not a Bluetooth keyboard. The near-link technology is going to allow for much faster response, less latency, and less battery consumption. So it's very interesting. The keys seem to have a very good travel for comfortable typing, although it's true that it's a fairly compact keyboard. In this case, being a review unit, it does not come adapted with the letter N, but it should arrive adapted to your region depending on where you buy it. And note that in this part it's going to simply peel off magnetically, so in a moment we'll test how it would be used. But how about taking the tablet out of its box now? The screen size is 11.5 inches, as stated in the name of this device. It comes with this little bag, so let's take it out. Remember that the paper matte finish allows the screen to be virtually glare-free, and that's an exaggeratedly attractive thing. Notice, for example, the difference with the iPad Air. Definitely that the anti-reflective screen that Huawei has is super good. So, let's turn this device on while we see what else comes in the box. For starters, we'll come across a microfiber cloth that is for easily cleaning this screen, because while it is an anti-glare screen, it also notes that fingerprints can get smudged relatively easily. But with this cloth, you'll hopefully be able to do a very quick and convenient cleaning of this screen. Let's take a look at what else is in here inside the box. We will only find the charger, USB cable, and documentation. I have to say that the charger surprised me because while it is supercharged, it is actually 22.5 watts, a bit of an old charge on Huawei's part. So it seems that in this regard they have cut back on the budget. I'll tell you in the review if the tablet supports faster charging in case you have a more powerful Huawei charger. But for now I've been a bit disappointed in this. And well, the included cable is USB-A to USB-C. It's a slim cable. In this case, you wouldn't need a very special cable, let's say, because it's not that powerful a charge. So that's all the contents of the box. Let me set this tablet up for the first time and I'll get back to you with the specs. And that's it. I have the tablet configured and I forgot to tell you the price. In Mexico, at the time of recording this video, the edition without keyboard costs 6,999 pesos. Now, the power of the charger makes much more sense to me. I honestly thought it was going to be a more expensive device. And the edition with keyboard costs 7,999 pesos. On the screen, you will see the reference prices in dollars just to give you an idea, but remember that the prices here are not the same as over there. Remember that in Mexico, taxes are included. And in both cases, you can choose a gift between the Huawei Watch Fit 3, of which I already have a review available, and also the Huawei FreeBuds 5, which I also already have a review, so I think you could get a good combo if you need a watch or headphones. It should be noted that the third generation Huawei M Pencil, which is compatible with this tablet, is sold separately. So this pencil, you simply stick it in this part and watch how it detects it immediately. To connect the first time, Bluetooth is enabled, which I find curious because it is supposed to be a pencil with near-link. Notice that in this section you can turn on the near-link feature. Maybe I got confused and I'm using a generation of stylus that does not yet have near-link. I'll check on that in a moment. For now, what we are sure does have near link is the case that comes with it. So let's start putting it on. First, we attach the back cover, which sticks on magnetically, completely straightforward. In this part comes with a tab that will easily peel off to tilt the tablet. And as you saw a moment ago, the keyboard, you simply bring it closer and it's also going to stick magnetically. So in this way, you can transport with much greater ease and with good security and protection your tablet. And notice that you simply unfold the keyboard, and on this part it has little pins pins that will make contact with your tablet, so it only has one tilt adjustment, confirming to us that this is an entry-level edition of the tablet in this case, although it already includes stylus support for good technologies. So with this, I think it becomes one of the most attractive tablets for students, because its price is tight and it's compatible with a stylus. Then notice that in the near link settings, this keyboard already appears. And that's it. I got the stylus with near link technology. I had two Huawei M Pencil, one with near link and one without near link. Remember that the one that supports near link is the 3rd generation. So if you want to have the lowest latency when drawing, it is important that you acquire this one. Although you already saw that it is also compatible with previous versions. So if you want to save a little bit of money, you could buy the past versions, and either way they are also compatible. Then notice that Huawei includes its own Notes app. In this part, you can select your notebook, you can select different styles as well from the lines it's going to have, and you can name it whatever name you want. Let's put it to the test. And ready, here we are going to be able to have all the notes that we want. And I insist, thanks to the near link technology of the pen, the latency is definitely ultra low. You can get to compare it to Styli on other tablets. And in this case, despite being a budget tablet, the stylus is giving us a super advanced experience that you would usually find on much more expensive tablets. But as I say, this tablet is not only going to be a good tool for taking notes, but now it also includes an app called GoPaint, completely free because it is from Huawei, with which you're going to be able to put your artist skills into practice. And in conjunction with the paper matte screen, it's also going to give you a nice feeling when you're writing, so let's create a new drawing. And notice that it gives you a choice of different canvases. It can even be a canvas, so that the strokes can be seen in different ways. Notice that the application is quite complex, so it includes a lot of tools. We are going to have many brushes available to select with different strokes. Let's select this one and go to the color picker. Let's start with some green color. Let's see, let's do this stroke, and notice that obviously the brush is also going to change its behavior, depending on whether you're pushing it too hard or you're making a very fast stroke. So it's pretty good in that sense. Let's select some other brushes. You can add your favorite brushes. And the feeling it gives when you're painting is also very nice. Because I don't know if it shows through the camera, but it does give the feeling of canvas because of the texture that this stroke is having. So, I have very little artistic skills, but someone with much more skill is definitely going to enjoy this tablet a lot when you're drawing. Because as I say, you can create different layers as well, and add in each of them the strokes that you want. But let me quickly tell you the specifications of the tablet, in case you want to know more details. In addition to this space gray version, it is available in glacier silver, which we could say is white color, and also in stellar purple, which we could say looks pink. It weighs in at 10 grams and is 6.2 millimeters thick. The screen is IPS with 144 Hz in its refresh rate, so it can show you very smooth movements. That's also why it gives the feeling of quite comfortable typing. Its resolution is 2800 by 1840 pixels. It has a brightness of 500 nits, and the anti-reflective finish helps quite a bit to have a good display, even in environments with a lot of backlighting. Although the screen does not have viewing angles as advanced as an OLED screen, I insist that the anti-reflective finish helps you have a good display. It gives you 256 gigabytes of internal storage, and when it's just turned on, it's only 8% used. It also gives you 8 gigabytes of RAM, so you can have multiple applications or web pages open. The camera is 13 megapixels with f1.8 aperture and autofocus. I think it's going to allow you to scan documents very well. It can record video in full HD, while the front camera is 8 megapixels with f aperture 2.0 and fixed focus. Obviously, this front camera is much more focused on video calls, and I think it has a good level of range, so I think it's good quality. Overall, it's going to be much better quality than laptop cameras can give you. The battery is 8800 milliamps, so it could give you a full day at school. Although, as I told you, the maximum load it supports is 22.5 watts. It also includes 4 speakers, 2 on one side and 2 on the other side. So the sound will also be one of its strong points. It also integrates 2 microphones on the top. And the processor is a mystery. The Huawei Mexico site does not disclose the processor. But on other sites we realize that it is the Kirin 9000WL, a modified edition of one of the most powerful processors that Huawei currently has in its catalog, which is surprising for the price range in which this tablet is distributed. So let's run a benchmark to more or less get an idea of how powerful it can get. I'll get back to you when this benchmark is done. And presto, here are the results. 1,181 points in single core and 3,645 on multi-core, which for this price is definitely a lot of power. We'll have to see obviously if it's going to have good compatibility with games and whatnot, but at least in power it's very good. In fact, I also already did the Antutu test, and as you see, this is your score. 598,598 points. Although it is quite suspicious that it is exactly the same number. In fact, here it gives me a report that it couldn't be verified online or something like that. Remember, it's a bit of a mystery processor on Huawei's part, so I'm not sure this score is correct, since it notes that in GPU it gave us 0 points, since it does not support these libraries. The GPU is called Malion 910. It is also from Huawei, so maybe it's not so compatible with some games. So I wouldn't recommend it so much for gaming, but for all other activities it's going to be just fine. Remember that through the app gallery you can search for MicroG, and just by installing this app you're going to be able to have Google services natively. Notice that they are already finishing installing, and subsequent to its installation, within the accounts section of this device, the option to add account will appear, and Google already appears. Then you can add your Google account. And you can subsequently install virtually any application, like Gmail, YouTube, Google Maps, or whatever you want. And it's going to work completely natively. So it's basically the same as what we were seeing with the Pure 70 series. I'll leave you the link in the description. So it doesn't have too many restrictions anymore with respect to Google, and the rest of the features are going to be attractive. But in the video review, I'll tell you a lot more about it. For now, it's just been a first look. I hope you liked this video. If you did, you know you can let me know, and I'll see you next time.